I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman describing her suicide attempt as ordinary, like brushing my teeth. In an attempt to answer the question, why did I do it? She tells her life story. We're about a third through book 4, whose working title is Eyes of Different Colors. Thanks for having patience with the repeating material as I work through a new order for this section of the book with some additional edits. Last week, Ava had sex with the president of her local IWW chapter, met a prostitute, and slept over at a housing protest. This is a chapter called Anarch. We are continuing with the chapter. October. First snowfall is abnormally early. On the news, the police say they won't force the Guinness Field protesters to leave. The cold will do that for them. It takes a few more months, but it does. August 29th, 2017, 3:15 p.m. Something is wrong with me. I was looking forward to writing, but now, when I have the time, I resist. I'm afraid to get lost in it, afraid to pull myself away from my investments, like they're going to react to me hitting refresh on the page over and over again. What is this obtuse hardness inside of me? I've worked so hard to get where I am, where I can actually view this writing as both job and joy. Ideal, right? But this rock inside me says, fuck you, you have no control. You will never have control. And now I feel that anger and disappointment again. It's like coming home. I'm trying to help a friend, but the hole she's in is too deep. It can't be too deep. She can change, quit drinking, keep a job, manage money, be happy. She has kids, beautiful kids. They have to have a better shot at life than she had. It's not a waste of my money. At some point, the bottomless leg will be filled and she'll figure it out. Yes, the leg will be filled. It's not bottomless. She'll learn. She'll be happy. Her kids will have futures. Oh, this vertigo, beautiful. Let go. Stop caring. You are not God. I have to be. Next chapter, half finished, Emily. The pioneer. Source of my newfound wealth and freedom. The money I make allows me to get my own apartment and buy music, art supplies, clothes, hairstyles, trips to New York. I make my first real female friend, not someone who feels sorry for me and looks after me, but someone who chooses me since God. Roxanne? I'm sure I've met people with tattoos before, but I'm also sure they were old men in bars. Emily is the same age as me. She's got long, tight, walnut-colored curls, not the kind you can brush out like mine. She's shorter than me, fatter, not fat, with a stern demeanor. Deadpan and sarcastic, she doesn't smile much unless serving customers. I cast my gaze down in her presence, looking up to admire when she looks away. She has a gecko tattooed on the inner part of a soft, pale forearm up near her elbow. You want to hang out sometime and trade old war stories? She half mumbles. Emily has a way of talking where she hardly moves her lips and speaks fast. What? Yeah, when? Emily and I watch movies and drink beer, wine, vodka, whiskey. We eat at restaurants, go to music shows. Emily's tastes run towards college rock, mine toward metal, though we both shop at the independent music store, the one I walked by 3 times before entering for that first time, back when I lived with William. I go there all the time now. Emily is from Blackbird on the other side of the country. My dad is a brigadier general who sexually abused my older sister and my younger sister, but never me, she says. She's lying. I know that. It's true that tornadoes do jump, destroying a bunch of houses, bounding to miss one, then destroying a bunch on the other side, but a pedophile dad? Why would he spare her? All my parents' friends back in Blackbird are worse, she says. At least my sisters and I have normal names. The girl children in those families are all Tiffany, Crystal, Brandy, Cherry. Stripper names, Emily says. Emily's dad used to command her, dance like a monkey. And she'd twist one arm up and put it on her head, and the other down, hand in her armpit. Eek, 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 she'd say, jumping foot to foot. I envision the red monkey from my Barrel of Monkeys game. I don't know why. Emily isn't short and long-limbed. Pedro looks more like one of those game pieces. Emily had a toy monkey as a kid. It wore a red hat and a jacket and had two cymbals that would bang together when you wound it up. This toy she describes reminds me of the drummer I did not want to be in high school. Bang, bang. Emily's monkey hangs from her bedboard in her dreams, leering at her. August 29th, 2017, 3:51 p.m. Continued. How do I motivate my friend Leslie? How do I convince her to strive and share herself with the world? Is it even important to strive and share yourself with the world? Why do I think Leslie's drinking is a problem? I escape right here every day typing. If Leslie's escape is beer, who am I to judge? And I'm okay with my friend Bren's alcohol consumption. Bren is a writer and futurist. She jets around the world talking at conferences. Her work and money, my measures of success, even if I say they're not. Happiness is what matters, right? If a person achieves that by drinking, but Leslie and her husband can't afford food. Their tiny basement 2-bedroom house is 5 people. They have children. If a stable home is the height of achievement, they're losing on that front too. No, addictions are bad. Maybe not all, I say as I type away. Only things that interfere with what? Peace of mind, well-being? Peace of mind and well-being that come from inside, not from substances or the opinions of others? Peace of mind and well-being that come primarily from inside, because substances and other people's points of view are not bad. They merely can't come first. Leslie is sorely lacking in confidence. Ryu, her partner, the same. They also lack faith. They don't believe that good things will happen to them. I've got to help them. Show them that good things can and will happen. Leslie, she should be a writer and speaker like Bren. She reads all the time. Biology is Leslie's thing. If someone paid for her education now, would she go? I suppose that if she'd been raised like Bren, private school, CEO mother, and family, money dad, achievement would have been inculcated into her, and she wouldn't need to go now. She would be a writer and speaker. Instead, though, for her, it was a northern village, alcoholic dad who beat her, her 2 brothers, her sister, and her mom until her mom piled herself and the kids into a busted-up car with no heater at 3 a.m. one winter night. One day it hit me. Leslie's mother told me that we'd have more money if I left. I was the only one working, and I was paying for all that beer. Leslie was 6 then, her youngest brother 4. Her mom drove to a hotel 2 towns over. She didn't stay with friends because in their rural community, everyone believed a woman had to stay with her husband regardless of the circumstances. She went 2 towns over in case Leslie's father woke up and came looking for them. Leslie and her siblings learned that life was physical pain, fear, and self-hatred, and hunger. Leslie told me she remembers literal hunger and trying to sleep at night. Next morning, Leslie's mom drove to Westrood, the nearest city. She got a job in a convenience store, rented a house, and took in boarders. She has no education beyond high school. From then on, Leslie and her siblings would experience life, if not as physical violence, as mind-numbing toil and loneliness, not through any fault of her mother's. Fear would have continued, I imagine. Maybe the self-hatred mellowing into low self-worth. Ryu's story is even sadder. I don't know why Bren drinks. She's mentioned an adulterous mother, but still, she was raised at least to somewhat enjoy life and to work and succeed. Why is drinking okay in my mind for Bren, but not for Leslie and Ryu? Why don't I admire Leslie and Ryu for surviving? Leslie for keeping a job and Ryu for not hitting his family like his dad did? Why do I expect Leslie to work while Bren doesn't need me and Leslie does? There's the difference. I could admire someone who may have something to give me while disdaining someone who needs me to give to them. God, I'm horrible.